It's Thursday, July 11, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. The St. Catherine South Member of Parliament Fitz Jackson and Public Administration and Appropriations Committee PAAC Chairman Michael Phillips were among those who are condemning House Speaker Juliet Holness' decision to cancel the sittings of several parliamentary committees.
Now, the lawmakers are arguing that she lacks the authority to unilaterally cancel committee meetings, but at least one former speaker is coming to her defense. More in this report.
Are acting out of your powers. The accusation being leveled against Speaker of the House Juliet Holness by two opposition lawmakers. Holness is under fire for cancelling meetings of some committees of Parliament. Leading the charge are Fitz Jackson and Michael Phillips, who registered their discontent with the cancellation of the meetings, which they said was done without consulting with committee chairs and members. Phillips, speaking with CVM News, the Member of Parliament for Northwestern Manchester, argued that the Speaker has veered outside of her remit provided by the standing orders.
The instructions given by the Speaker herself that all other committees should be cancelled for a time to be specified. By the standing orders, it doesn't give the Speaker of the House the permission or any oversight over the committee. As chairman of our committee, we usually communicate with the leader of government business.
Former Speaker of the House and current Justice Minister Delroy Chuck defended the Speaker's actions as appropriate due to the demanding needs of members of Parliament to respond to their constituencies post-Beryl.
We have just gone through Hurricane Beryl, which devastated many constituencies, and MPs were required to be in their constituencies to assist constituents to deal with the many challenges that occur after a hurricane has passed. So even whether or not it is in the standing orders, whether or not it is appropriate for the Speaker to instruct chairmen of committees, it seems most appropriate that the Speaker should encourage chairmen of committees to postpone the meetings during the course of this week to allow MPs to really respond to the many demands and urgencies within their constituencies.
Mrs. Holness has been the subject of controversy ever since her ascendancy to the speakership in 2023. She has been criticized for what some members of the opposition describe as delayed tactics for critical reports from accountability bodies in Parliament. CVM tried to contact Mrs. Holness for a response, but was unsuccessful in its attempts. Trishagaye Kelly, CVM News.
A triple murder in Canterbury, Montego Bay, St. James has left the community reeling in fear. A teenager was among the all-male victims.
A senseless act of violence has shaken the streets of Canterbury in Montego Bay as 3 lives were tragically cut short in a brutal triple homicide on Tuesday evening. The police responded to reports of bodies discovered in the community. Upon arrival, they found Rashawn Williams lying along the main road, suffering from gunshot wounds to the left side of his face and upper body. Nearby, Jadon Bennett was found on a section of a bridge with gunshot wounds to the right side of his neck. David West was discovered in his yard, also with gunshot wounds to the right side of his face. Emergency services transported the victims to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where they were pronounced dead. Commanding Officer for the St. James Division Superintendent Sheridan Samuels says the police are making progress in apprehending the culprits.
The police seized 2 weapons following a triple murder that occurred in the Upper King Street area. About 6 p.m., police received reports of a shooting in the area, and immediately we responded. On arrival of the scene, within minutes, a shootout ensued with the suspect. The suspect escaped in a gully, leaving behind 2 weapons. The suspect is 32-year-old John Lee Roach. He's previously a person of interest in a case of shooting with intent. Operations are still ongoing to capture John Lee Roach. The team is currently within the space and will continue pursuing him until he is found. We will be conducting a search of the gully between tonight and tomorrow morning, as we believe he had dived into the gully. We are not sure if at this time if he was shot and injured or if he received any injuries following him jumping several feet down into the gully. We will continue to relentlessly pursue John Lee Roach and any associate of his to ensure that we bring back safety and security to the Canterbury community and wider St. James.
Trishagaye Kelly, CVM News.
The police say an elderly woman from St. James allegedly drowned after being swept away during Beryl's flood waters. However, her grief-stricken relatives have expressed some level of doubt as they struggle to accept the tragedy. More from Britannia Witter.
Isilda James, affectionately called Miss Icy, who was a sugarcane farmer, an aunt to many nieces and nephews, and a beloved member of the community of Dumfries in St. James. Reports are that her life was cut short on Wednesday, July 3, when the elderly woman was swept away by floodwaters caused by the passage of Hurricane Beryl. She allegedly fell in a ditch near her house. Her partially decomposed body was found in a pond near her home on Saturday, July 6. One relative is struggling to come to terms with the tragedy, describing Miss Icy as a kind soul.
Because she was a loving person to me. I see her almost every other day. She promised to come and see me on the Monday. However, I went to work, so I did not get to see her. And sorry to hear about this, what happened to her right now. I'm really depressed, trust me. I don't know, I just don't know how to handle it. I can't even sleep at night. I am thinking really hard about this.
Another loved one, who refused to appear on camera, questions if there's more to the story about her death.
I was so saddened by the condition they found her in, and something's just not right about it, because a lot of people said they saw her on Thursday and no rain wasn't in the area on Thursday. So it could be the rain that washed her away. So they dig deep into this condition.
The police say their examination suggests the cause of death is likely drowning. Miss Icy was 85 years old. Britannia Witter, CVM News.
St. Elizabeth is slowly picking up the pieces in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Residents and farmers in the southern parish, which faced the brunt of damage from the storm, are saying it's an uphill battle to recovery. Courteney Lewis has more details.
It's been 1 week and 1 day since Hurricane Beryl left a trail of destruction like one not seen in recent times in St. Elizabeth. Residents of Pedro Plains in St. Elizabeth described the aftermath of Beryl as heartbreaking. Many recounted their experience, adding they have to start from scratch.
You see, I never experienced things like this before. It just got me shaking. 2 days after that, I was still shaking.
I'm in a daze at the moment. So just moving around from day to day. I don't know fully how to explain it. It's as if it's a dream.
Another resident explained the recovery process will be rough, and as a mother, the losses are even greater as she is without food, electricity, and water.
One big black drum, I don't know, one shine drum, I don't know where it blow from. But I don't blow that, it's something they blow, I walk. I don't walk, you walk. Trust me, it lift up, and me I tell you around there, so it's really a disaster. And my house stop gone in and water come in for me, I'll me better float in the water. I lose a mattress, I lose whole heap of things. I have 3 kids, I don't have food, I don't have water. And you know, say that rough, that very hard, sir.
Along with the loss of homes and property, farmers in the Breadbasket parish face the loss of their harvest. Farmers say newer crops were affected by heavy winds and price increases may be expected.
Well, you can expect a very large increase in price because, you know, with the devastation, it's not going to be a lot right now. So whatever is here right now is going to be increased. You know, when these things happen, you can expect less than the price to go, you understand? Because it's going to be a demand for it.
Despite the long road to recovery, the residents maintain they are still holding on to hope for much-needed assistance.
We still a fight it same way, you understand? Because we can't do nothing more fight it because you don't know a nature thing. We can't give up. Because everyone come, the damage and gone, and we still. You understand? Yeah, man. So, I just life.
Courteney Lewis for CVM News.
And CVM News at 7 will continue in a moment.
CVM News at 7 Headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Made all the preparations, but you still suffered some serious damage from the hurricane. Recovering from any disaster will be hard, but there is help for people who need it the most. Look out for the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to visit your home and make damage assessments. Make sure you have a government-issued ID or a letter from a JP identifying you. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security in your parish, helping the people who are most in need. Plan, prepare, recover.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Residents in sections of Clarendon are demanding electricity and water utilities they've lacked since last Wednesday's battering from Beryl. More from Trishagaye Kelly.
Help we want, and if we can go help we. We not care about no MP and no councillor. And your holiness and the mayor of Clarendon to come. Joel Williams, come. We need it.
That's the shared sentiment from residents in a section of Hayesfield, Clarendon, who are calling on their political representatives for assistance since Hurricane Beryl. They explain it's been too long coming for them not to have at least water.
We have children where they can't take baths. We have no water to prepare food and all these things. These are very important. It's necessary. Water is very necessary. So even though we do understand what's happening when it comes to the power lines and the posts that's falling down, but what I don't understand is we have councillors, we have MPs.
But that is a problem in and of itself, as residents complain that their representatives have been missing in action. They fear should the problem persist, it will result in chaos.
In the next 4 days, it's going to be havoc. No food, no nothing, all the breadfruit tree and the coffee tree, everything gone. Mango, everybody blow off. There's nothing, save nothing. No food supply. Some people is very me tired for help. I mean, like a pocket can't read so far.
Contrary to the residents' belief, however, Member of Parliament for Southwest Clarendon, Lothan Cousins, says he's working to restore all he can for his constituents.
Most of the water that serves the area comes from the Kempfield facility. Stuart is saying that they're unable to communicate with the Lanyon office electronically to let them know the list of persons that have been compiled thus far who should be able to collect materials. So we are waiting on that. We are going to reach out to who we can now.
Clarendon was among the few parishes that suffered a massive blow from Beryl. Trishagaye Kelly, CVM News.
And Hanover's seat of power was among the parish's infrastructure severely damaged following Hurricane Beryl. Mayor of Lucea, Sheridan Samuels, says repairs should begin soon. We go back to Trishagaye Kelly for that update.
Though Hanover has not been highlighted as one of the areas that received significant damage during Hurricane Beryl, residents are still feeling the effects a week after and may have to endure same for a little while. The municipal corporation and the Cleveland Stanhope Market in Lucea were both impacted. One vendor explains they haven't been getting much sales since.
It tear down one part around the so and the water coming in at the market. Through the storm, they can't get to buy the things them to come back into the market.
At the corporation's monthly meeting on Thursday, Mayor Sheridan Samuels highlighted the impact of the damage. He says Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie has been notified of the situation.
Have severe damage to the market itself, and some report had gone to the minister, and we were supposed to get some funding. They are looking about getting some funding to us for us to do repairs to the market itself.
And regarding the corporation's building, Mayor Samuel says they're looking to begin repairs soon.
The municipal building is severely damaged by the hurricane, and we are looking at ways and means. Of course, we have the SGR that we can look at, and we intend to look at it to get it repaired.
One of the most tragic events in the parish as a result of the hurricane was the death of 26-year-old Cleon Sterling. She died after a tree outside her house collapsed on top of her. Trishagaye Kelly, CVM News.
Now, with more people sharing their encounters with the recent hurricane, the magnitude of the damage left to manage becomes more apparent. Local authorities and representatives are coming under intense pressure with claims some of the new scenarios were old complaints.
For these youngsters, this is one of the thrills post-Beryl, especially in areas of St. Thomas, which are still without electricity, running water and internet. But all is not as crystal clear as it may seem with this channel of the Plantation Garden River. In fact, residents who live along the roadway are very upset. They say the deluge they endured during Beryl could have been avoided had their Member of Parliament, Michelle Charles, taken seriously the threat they spotted with the river misdirected and left to the mercy of the elements.
I say it from a couple of years going back. I've been saying that the river want judge out from up there, sir, because it costs the water to come this way, while over there, so the right riverbed.
According to her, she had a backup plan with her ladder well positioned to climb to the highest point of her house, the roof, while the river viciously overflowed its banks during the weather system. But it's when an old community landmark was uprooted and laid to rest in the water that they saw the biggest danger unfolding. This other resident experienced knee-high water, which brought fear beyond her years in the area. She was expecting more outside help in terms of response to the dilemma.
I've been living here for 32 years now. And from I come here, I never see nothing like this before. But listen, there was an almond tree here, original almond tree. And the almond tree, big and nice. I'm here to say, believe me, when the almond tree gone, Charles, the MP, come and see it for yourself. And from hurricane until now, me not bless the hype on her. So right now, honestly, I'm upset. Mr. Mattis alone as council, me say. Mr. Mattis alone as council, me say come here so. I mean, I brag, I mean, I boast, I mean, I talk what I know about. Too much of this, man. Everybody talk about politics, but it's all about the people.
Also in Bath, this huge cavity in the roadway putting everyone at risk. They're very anxious because the recent corrective measures appear to be band-aid, which is right now even blocking immediate necessities for many areas.
I have to drive close by the place where I can't work. One truckload of sand and throw it so. One truckload of mall with no wall. Just throw it there so. The rain come, wash away everything and gone. So see there? So the things set up. So we don't know what they do. Somebody have to do something. And we don't want to somebody dead because somebody soon dead. And the council water truck pass here, so every day. And the water truck can't pass no more. GPS truck couldn't pass again with current. See there? It's rough.
For now, chairman of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation and the mayor of Brunt Bay has his hands full.
I think I will talk to the NWA about that river train over there. So the road is kind of impossible to pass right now over there in Bath. So as soon as I get to the work agency, we'll try to solve that problem for the people.
In the wake of Hurricane Beryl, corporate entities have emerged as crucial allies for residents affected by the natural disaster, offering aid and resources to support them in their time of need. Britannia Witter has more in this report.
Following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, corporate companies have offered assistance to the people across the weather-beaten southern section of the island. The companies include Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, and the two main telecommunication providers, Digicel and Flow. A number of residents received care packages containing food, water, and tarpaulins. Senior Vice President for Customer Experience and Commercial at JPS says it is the company's social responsibility.
One, that as utilities, as our, first responders, we could come together to support the parishes that were in need. And two, we didn't have to wait until we were bringing power to bring some kind of relief or restoration efforts from a social perspective to the residents of St. Elizabeth in the case today. As we go on through the week, we will be visiting other parishes. Know that Digicel is also in Clarendon tomorrow. All parishes are currently having restoration efforts ongoing by JPS.
She adds that JPS believes they have an obligation to the people of Jamaica.
And we think we have a social responsibility, not just to these parishes, but also to the wider nation. And because of that, you're seeing here today Flow Foundation, Digicel Foundation, and JPS Foundation in a solid partnership.
Chairperson of the Digicel Foundation, Joy Clark, shares similar sentiments.
At Digicel Foundation, we're committed to ensuring that persons who are affected are given the support that they need, and this is what today is all about, giving support to persons who are affected.
Britannia Witter, CVM News.
Well, I think we should go to a break. Stay with us, please.
Rainforest, I go give you plenty healthy ways to switch up your meals. Fresh flavor that we need. A new recipe every day of the week. And look how good me feel. Come catch the vibe. Rainforest, catch the seafood vibe.
Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure to choose with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with one less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
You made all the preparations, but you still suffered some serious damage from the hurricane. Recovering from any disaster will be hard, but there is help for people who need it the most. Look out for the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to visit your home and make damage assessments. Make sure you have a government-issued ID or a letter from a JP identifying you. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security in your parish, helping the people who are most in need. Plan, prepare, recover.
And we welcome you back with some business news. The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, has suspended the operating license issued to Paymaster Jamaica Limited as a remittance primary agent. This means that Paymaster is no longer authorized to offer remittance services at the 19 locations listed in the announcement. More in this report.
The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, has suspended the operating licenses issued to Paymaster Jamaica Limited as a remittance primary agent. This suspension means Paymaster is no longer authorized to offer remittance services at the 19 locations listed in the announcement. However, Paymaster continues to operate